You can't say it as a Yugadi. It works by quickening all her energies, a sublimation of all her faculties, and as the mental life uses and perfects the material, so will the spiritual use and perfect the material and mental existence as the instruments of a divine self-expression. Here you have, in one short sentence, the entire effort we have to do. First is, make the evolution fast. That is what is there. What nature aims at for the mass in a slow evolution, yoga affects for the individual by a rapid evolution. And you remember, whenever you understand certain laws of nature, you become the master of that particular nature. If you understand the laws of steam, you become the master of the energy called steam. If you understand the laws of electricity, what happens? You become the master of electricity. So if you know the properties and protect the properties, you become the master. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. It is not the religion what is meant there. It is mean the properties. Dharma means properties. What in chemistry we say the rasayanika dharmas and the bhautika dharmas. Their dharma doesn't mean religion, a chemical religion and a physical religion. It means the properties. So here you should quicken the properties of, properties means dharma, the properties of mental life. And once you know the dharma of mental life, in evolution, you change over to the spiritual use. Just as the mind is using the physical body, the divine spiritual power will use the mental existence. Now you understand, we are now servants of the mind. We are tortured by the mind. But if you can understand the laws of the mind, what happens? Your mind becomes an instrument to the divine. And just as the mental life is using the physical body, and when I say the physical body, I mean the Annamaya and Pranamaya Kosha together. The mind is one level, and then the Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha together is called the Karana Sharira. So we remember this as the Sthula Sharira, and the mental life is Sushma Sharira, and the Vijnanamaya Anandamaya Koshas as Karana Sharira. Remember this terminology. We will use it more when we go into the further chapters. So when we call it Sthula Sharira, it is two bodies in one, Annamaya and Pranamaya. And when we call Sushma Sharira, it is the mental body. The mental body has three levels: the perfected mind, the animal mind, the developing mind, the scientific mind, and then you have the divine mind. And what will the divine mind do? It will become an instrument of the divine. Right? Next. Just a few minutes back, we were defining yoga as speeding up of evolution. You remember this. And speeding up of evolution means thousands of years compressed in a few months' time. And that miracle always happens in the mother's womb. The 9 months, that consciousness which grows in the mother's womb compresses all the evolution right from the Satya Yuga to the present day Yuga in those 9 months. And that is where it is very important for us to understand what happens in a mother's womb. If you can make it happen in the 9 months in your yoga practice, you will get reborn. That is what is known as Dvijatva. So that much of compression of evolution, future evolution, the mind to evolve into a overmind, it takes thousands of years from now. But what you can do in a few months' time, and exactly if you know how to do it, the Navaratris are very important. Every day you can compress the evolution of thousands of years in one day. How to do it? We will learn it. This is what I want you to understand. For this compression to happen, you should understand God, nature, and human soul. These three are the essential, what Sri Aurobindo says, three consenting parties. All the three must say yes. The human soul must say yes. The nature must say yes. And the divine power must say yes. This, and how to do it in 12 months' time, is what Bhagavata is. Yesterday I was telling you about Sri Krishna's life and evolution of his life through various steps to overmind. So that is the Bhakta. The Bhakta is evolving because of the Bhagavan through the knowledge of Bhagavata. So Bhagavata is nature, of course Bhagavan is God, and Bhakta is the human soul. And this life is directly linked with Mahabharata. Whenever you talk about Sri Krishna, you are forced to think of Mahabharata. But our mental attitude has become so dangerously strife-ridden that when we talk about Ramayana, we have Rama Ramana Yuddha. And when we talk about Mahabharata, we have the Kaurava Pandava Yuddha. The Yuddha is not important. It was the starting point. After Rama Ramana Yuddha, the Ramarajya establishment is more important. After the Pandavas and Kauravas war, the establishment of Mahabharata is very important. Bharata to Mahabharata. What mother says as Akhanda Bharat is Mahabharata. It is only a change in the terminology. Because whenever there is Mahatvam, there is a continuity. You always remember the great man, is it not? Their Kirti. Kirti Sesha, we say, somebody who has left the body. And when you say Kirti Sesha, what does it mean? He is a great man. Maha means great. Mahabharata, great India. So this Mahabharata is the goal of Sri Aurobindo's yoga, you remember it. What he has left unfinished 5,000 years ago, because of the recoiling effect in nature, instead of Arjuna going from over mind to higher mind, the seed is there, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Mashucha is the guarantee of the supermind. But he recoiled because there was a defect. He said, no, I won't fight. And just that simple word, I can't fight, has made the entire humanity to go back. See the danger of not acting properly where and when you should. That single step of Arjuna